at where you thought you'd be?
If I had to be honest, now that we're here looking back, and if I was looking forward, if any of that makes sense, I didn't have any preconceived notions that we'd be where we are with Kawhi at this point, right? So that was my first thing was I thought it was going to be an easing in, I didn't know he was going to be this ready to play and all that kind of stuff. I guess I probably could have figured that out a little bit as we got to training camp and stuff, and maybe reconfigured my preconceived notions. But no, I think we're okay. I think we have a long ways to go with our growth and just organization and feel and a lot of things yet.
More growth on one side of the ball than the other?
Probably more on offense, even though there's still plenty of room on defense for growth too. Yeah.
Are you where you thought you would be as a coach a quarter of the year into the season?
I've told you guys I felt comfortable. Still feel pretty comfortable. I did expect some rust, and there's still a little bit there. So I think there's still another 20 games or so that I'm looking forward to getting to and making some better decisions.
What kind of rust? Like just the in-game decisions or a rotation pre-game? What kind of rust are you thinking of?
Yeah, mostly in-game, Doug. I think I'm still there's a lot of things that I've lightly put in and worked on that I haven't busted out yet in games, and I'm about ready to. I've done a lot of things that have been familiar just for time constraints and ease of saying let's just do that now and that'll get us through today. And the stuff that I want to get to and who we're going to become has not really been brought out yet.
We saw the one with Danny the other night.
Yes, sir.
That's new. That's
yes.
Out of,
yes, sir.
That's
some of us. Yes.
That's the kind of thing that's in your mind that's there?
Exactly.
That you're working on
yes.
and just waiting on?
I'm working on and making sure we're learning on, and that was a huge step forward to us because I'm again as a coach you're talking theory and explaining why you're doing some stuff in practice, and they're kind of scratching their head and looking at you and squinting their eyes, not rolling their eyes, squinting their eyes, and then it kind of works in a game, and now you've got a little bit more things you can get to. Yeah.
You spoke a lot during camp about trying different lineups, different combinations.
Yep.
Have you had to use more than even you thought that you would because of the injuries and some of the guys that have been in and out?
Probably, but it doesn't feel like I've had to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like, oh, God, I got to do that. It's fine. We're fine. I kind of wanted to do it, to be honest. Yeah, we've gotten to do it. I've wanted to do it. I don't think I've gone, I'm not doing it for the sake of doing it either, even though maybe it felt like it the other night in Atlanta. I ended up with Greg and Serge and but I wasn't horsing around doing that. It was kind of that's what it felt like to do at that point, and I don't think it looked very good. So maybe that one goes in the bad choice bin.
What did you think of you used JB and Serge together a bit in two
good
games. What did you think?
Good, yeah, good. I thought that one goes in the good choice bin. That's something we can go to when we need to. Yeah.
Does the season feel a lot different as a head coach than it does an assistant? Is it faster? Is it just way more things to manage?
It certainly feels different. It's just altogether different, right? It's like it doesn't move any slower as an assistant or any faster. As an assistant, you are grinding it out and churning out work like there's no. Not enough hours in the day, really. As a head coach, you are doing similar, but you're doing, I don't know, I always say, I used to go in and close my door and watch film for 3 hours right after practice, and now it seems like I'm in a meeting after another for 3 hours that have nothing to do with basketball, right? So it's just different. It still moves fast. You're different, and the assistants are fortunately, our staff's unbelievable, right? I'm so happy with Adrian and Sergio and Nate and all those guys, Phil, all the guys we brought in, Patrick and Jeremy as well. They're awesome, and we've got great chemistry on our coaching staff, and I really love them.
Speaking of Sergio, letting him go back to coach Spain, what went into that decision, and what do you think he gets out of it?
Well, we kind of wanted the perspective of having a little bit more of a European or international viewpoint, right? You probably have seen some of it show up in some of our sets. We've got a few things we run that come from the European play that we're doing. It's been really good to us. We want to keep integrating more of that stuff. I think you'll see more of it to come when he gets back. And the decision, it just kind of worked out this way, really, right? There was a number of scenarios we talked about that he would just leave the job and come, that he would not do it during the season but do it in the summer, just kind of to keep it smooth. He's got two big events coming. One's the World Championships and hopefully the Olympics, and kind of keep it. And it's big time basketball. It's a big deal, and I think we're fortunate to have him. Gives one of our other assistants a chance to step in and take one of our three areas. We divide them into offense, defense, and special teams, and I think and we rotate those. Sergio's on the special teams right now, so one of our other guys will jump in and take that portion of it, and it gives them a chance to show the edits, get on the floor and run that part of practice, and then show the post-game edits as well, and that's good. We want to make all our coaches better coaches and make them well-rounded.
Was your history with Great Britain a factor in this? You know how important it is to a guy like Sergio to stay in that position in Spain?
Yeah, I think it's a factor. I didn't really think, I didn't, or anything like that. But I did understand, like going through that for me keeps you keep a good pulse on players around the world. You keep a good pulse on trends, offensively, defensively. Always are seeing something a little different that they'll do, and it's nice to be able to have kind of a close ally so we can incorporate some of it.
Do you like how that's working with the rotation and rotating the coaches?
Yeah, I love it.
What went into that decision? Because that's not the norm.
Well, what went into it was first of all just developing all our coaches, right? That they don't kind of get stuck over in a corner of defense, offense, or special teams, or player development, or whatever it is, and trying to develop them. Two is just to give them a chance to. To be more objective, right? So when I'm asking them for advice on things, that they're a little bit more objective rather than, like, for instance, if I was the offensive coach, that I would say, play all the shooters all the time. You know what I mean? Or if you were the defensive coach, you'd say play all the defenders all the time. And if you're the special teams coach, say he's got to be in because he's our best inbounder or whatever. And hopefully it's to make us a little bit more objective. But mostly the learning and developing the coaches and giving them a chance to really hone their craft in all the areas.
Do you do that in game chunks or?
Yeah.
Or like 10 games every?
Yeah, ish. 10 games ish. It was. We're kind of doing it a little loosely. It 10's the number, but we were in the middle of a 4-game West Coast road trip, and ended up being 12, or it may end up being 9 the next time, or whatever. Whenever it lands, we haven't. Again, with me, I haven't thought it. We have kind of roughly planned it out, but it's not in stone. It's just an idea, and when it gets close to that time, we start thinking about who's going to rotate where and all those kind of things. And it's like our rotations a little bit on the floor. We monitor which ones have, when it gets down to the end of the year and playoff time, we're going to go with what we think is our best lineup.
What are special teams?
Out of bounds plays, end of quarter plays, end of game plays, any other jump ball, presses, zones, any of those kind of things that are not man-to-man defense or man-to-man offense.
So do you have a bunch of stuff that you let that coach work around, put in with, you'd say, whoever's handling special teams? Did they get to run the drills where you run ETOs and stuff like that?
Yeah, mostly they all three of them have a chunk of practice time or a chunk of shoot-around time. There's a chunk for offense, there's a chunk for defense, and there's a portion for special teams. And they organize, and they do all the film, the pre-film, the post-game film. They do all the on-court, and it's kind of their thing. Like if the out-of-bounds plays underneath need a little tweaking, then that's what that's what they got their finger on that pulse, and that's what they do the next day in practice or film to clean it up.